Peace, 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 IG. Daniel KC1 NCF tapping in with you. Tonight we're covering daily survival tip number 13. Learn from the experience of others. Learn from the experience of others. This is such a valuable tip right here. This tip is going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of energy. It's going to save you a lot of struggle. It's just going to make a lot of things easier, more simple, and you'll be able to accomplish more with less by learning from the experience of others. There's so many people who have already gone through the different types of situations and circumstances that we potentially see ourselves going through in this world. There are plenty of people who have been down and out and survived. There are plenty of people who have experienced all different levels of emergency or disaster and have survived. There are plenty of people who have not but are studied, are learned. There are plenty of people in different professions that require them to have and exercise certain skills that qualify them for they qualify them as somebody who can teach you how to do something, how to go about something that you don't have to necessarily put in all the hard work and all the time that it took them to learn if you learn from their experience. Peace, peace. We are Sister Siren in the building. Thanks for tapping in, sis. So yeah, daily survival tip number 13. Learn from the experience of others. This can come in many ways and many forms. There are many ways to go about learning from others' experience. There's learning from people's mistakes, and then there's learning from people's examples, the way they win. It doesn't always have to be a mistake of someone else's that you learn from. Learn from those who've gone the right path and have succeeded in the right path. Learn from those who have had unfortunate situations and circumstances visited upon them, and they were able to navigate those situations and circumstances and make it through to the other side. Maybe it might have been a struggle, maybe it wasn't a struggle for them. Either way, anybody that you know, anybody in sphere of influence, anybody that you have the opportunity to that has made it through a situation or circumstance that you would want to be able to. It doesn't have to be deal with survival and preparedness, just in general. But of course, that's what we talk about on this channel. But you do want to save yourself some time, save yourself some energy, and learn from their mistakes, life lessons, experiences, etc. Now, there's also, the best way to do it is definitely through example, meaning having someone actually show you what they did, how they did it, when they did it, why they did it, in real time, if at all possible. And then there is just a verbal explanation, or what's called an oral, or basically what do they call it when you pass something down orally, like you get it from their actual words. And then there's reading. Every time you pick up a book, think about it. What is in this book that I can really learn from? Some of us read fiction, some of us read non-fiction, some of us read sci-fi, some of us read mystery. There's all kind of different types and genres of books, and we all read them for different reasons. Well, if you don't already, add into your library. If you don't have a library, you should start one, but add into your library, biographies and autobiographies of people's actual life experiences, especially those that recount someone's time and ability to overcome different types of adversities and obstacles in their that were in their path. These are some of the most valuable things that you can read of other people's life experiences, and take from those experiences what you can and apply it to your life in whichever way that you can to push yourself forward. Again, one of the biggest benefits of what I'm saying here, which is to learn from others' experiences, that you're going to save a lot of time. You're going to save a lot of energy because there's no need to actually spend that time and that energy and to have to subject yourself to certain types of stresses or whatever have you, because there are other people who have already went through it. Now, there's some things that you should experience on your own. So you're not going to go read a book about starting a fire and then something jumps and hits the fan, and then you're just going to go off of what you read in the book. Some things that you read, some things that people tell you, you should still go and actually try to apply these things in real time as an experiment, as a test of yourself and your ability, so that when things hit the fan, if they ever hit the fan, you already know how to operate, or you know where you might fall short. And if you do fall short when you're trying to do something before the need arises, you have the time to actually strengthen yourself in whatever area that you feel that you fell short, or know that you fell short. But you know, our elders are a wealth of knowledge. The modern conveniences that we are lucky to have, right? The modern conveniences that we are so in love with aren't that old. These modern conveniences, you can go back 10 years and a lot of the things we do today, we wouldn't be able to do. You go back 20 years and that number of things will reduce severely. You go back 25 years and then 30 years, you know, I'm 32. When I don't remember when the Nokia phone came out, right? But that phone was dope. You could play a game on a phone. You know, we had Game Boys, we had you know, other little handheld type electronic games and stuff, right? But then you had this phone that wasn't connected to a wire. It's a cell phone, but then you could play a game. It was Snake. It was a very simple game. But this is in the 90s. I believe it was in the 90s. If it wasn't in the 90s, it was in the early 2000s. Either way, it wasn't that long ago, right? But look at what we have now. I'm able to speak to people live, action, on the other side of the planet, anywhere. That's amazing leap of technology within the last 20 or so years. So you don't have to go too far back to when our people had to meet and overcome certain types of obstacles without the modern conveniences that we have now. So it's nothing that we can't do, fam. It's nothing that we can't get back to. You know, we still have plenty of people living on this planet that have made it through all kinds of adverse events. We have so many people on this planet still alive that have lived through war, that have lived through famine, that have lived through and not just in this country, people from other countries who have lived through all types of adverse things. We have so many people still alive in our families, in our neighborhoods, in our communities, who have already experienced tremendous hardship. If you're over the age, if you know somebody over the age of 50, you're not going to be able to sit down from them and not learn. Point blank, period. Talk to the elders in your community. Talk to the elders in your family. Talk to the elders that are around you, and ask them what type of things, you know, what did you go through? What are the things that you've learned coming up and over the years that, you know, if I had to go through that, you know, it would be tough off of experience. And what can you tell me about how to get through that situation? Or maybe there's a very specific question you have about a specific type of hardship or whatever, or obstacle that might present itself, and you ask that question. But again, this is Daily Survival Tip number 13. Very key. Learn from others' experiences. Thank you, family. Daniel Casey1 and CF, tapping out. Peace.